Hi guys, it's Xenia. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a video that I know the majority of my audience is going to absolutely love because I think it's safe to say all of us here are huge vanilla lovers. If you watch this channel, if you follow me, then you probably are a vanilla lover. And today we're talking all about vanilla. Specifically, I'm going to share with you guys my top 14 vanilla perfumes. Now, I think it's safe to say that 90% of perfumes have some kind of vanilla note in them. Even the most floral perfumes ever have some sort of vanilla note just to kind of add sweetness. This video is truly focusing on the perfumes that not only have vanilla notes in them, which all of these do, but they smell like vanilla. They're definitely done in different ways, but the heart of every single one of these perfumes is going to be vanilla. These are true vanilla perfumes, and of course, as per usual, I have different price points in this video. So we have some on the higher end niche side, to designer, to some that are under even 25 bucks. So with all that being said, if you are a true vanilla lover, then definitely stick around, grab a snack. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn your post notifications on, and let's get starting off in no particular order. This is not a ranking. This one is by Van Cleef & Arpels and it's called Orchidee Vanille. Now this is more of, I guess, a niche brand of fragrance. I thought this perfume was gonna be super expensive because I know their jewelry is outrageously expensive, but this was actually not too bad. I think I might have actually even gotten this for a little bit over 100 or maybe even below 100. It was a lot less than I thought I was gonna pay for it. Let's just say that. I thought this was gonna be $200-300. This one is called Orchidee Vanille, so that kind of makes you think this is gonna be a floral vanilla. But in my opinion, although yes, it does have some type of floralness to it, this is vanilla more than anything. It's such a soft, warm vanilla, and even the florals that are in here, they're warm florals. You're not gonna have any sort of white florals or just sharpness going on in here. Oh, it's so good. It's borderline, slightly even a little powdery. This has violet and that kind of mixes in with the vanilla. It adds warmth to the vanilla and just adds this beautiful powderiness. Now in here, not only do you have vanilla, which is definitely, I would say, the heart of this, but you also get dark chocolate. And while that's not intense, I think the mixture of the chocolate and vanilla is definitely prevalent in here, and it's addicting. It's not sickly sweet, it's just perfect. This is a vanilla that is super intoxicating. You'll probably hear me say that a lot in this video because you all know I overuse the word sexy on this channel, but just warning you at the start of this video, I'll probably be overusing that word yet again in this video, because if these are not sexy perfumes, I don't know what is. This one is a little bit pricier. This is coming from a niche brand. This is by the brand Moresque, and this is called Seta. I was not aware of this until I worked with Sense Angel in a couple videos, and by the way, this video is not sponsored. I've worked with them before, but I did get this perfume from them, and prior to trying this perfume out, I had no idea of the existence of this perfume. Nobody really has talked about it, so it was one of those things where when I saw it on the website, I did my own research on it. I saw how this was basically just like a really delicious vanilla perfume. This is rich, elevated, classy vanilla. This smells very expensive. I mean, it is an expensive perfume, but it smells expensive. This brings luxury. This is not your little juvenile vanilla ice cream type of scent. No, this is very complex. It's a little bit resinous. You get some sandalwood along with the vanilla in here, and all the notes that I mentioned alongside the vanilla as I'm explaining all these perfumes, just know that those are kind of accompanying the vanilla, but like I said, the main part of all of these is gonna be vanilla. So even though I'm mentioning other notes, those are just kind of adding on to that scent. None of the other notes in any of these perfumes take away from the fact that these are strong vanillas. On top of this being pretty woody and really strong and resinous, this also has a big amber sort of quality. I think that's what's giving this a good amount of maturity, but it's not too mature. I feel like this is a type of vanilla that you could wear to, I don't know, some sort of classier occasion. I definitely don't see this as you're going to the club vanilla. It just feels a little bit more sophisticated than that, to kind of put it into perspective, but it's really good and sultry nonetheless. Okay, so I'm trying to get out sort of the more higher price point perfumes before we get to the middle ground and the more affordable ones. I would say the last one that's gonna be well over 100, I think close to 150. I'm not sure of the exact price point of this. This is by M. Micallef, and this is called Note Vanille. This is yet again another ambery, super sugary kind of vanilla, but in this one you get rum and cognac, so there's definitely this boozy, almost spice kind of element happening in here, but it's not too heavy. This is definitely on the tamer end when it comes to spicy vanillas, but those spicy notes give this so much character. Oh, this vanilla is so good. Honestly, this is very similar to Vanilla 28, which I'm also gonna mention, but let's just say this is Vanilla 28's older sister. This just feels a step up from Vanilla 28. If you don't want to go out and spend this kind of price point, you can get Vanilla 28 and it will give you a very similar vibe. And speaking of Vanilla 28, I think my subscribers that have been with me for at least a couple years on this channel will know the journey that I've taken with Vanilla 28. It's crazy for me to be holding up this perfume as my top 14 favorite vanillas, considering how I started out with this perfume. I literally made an entire video of these two perfumes, and I literally labeled the video a really good vanilla and a really bad one or something like that, and this was the bad vanilla. And I basically spoke out in that video how much I did not like this, how I thought this smelled like a church, how I thought it was way too mature, and all these things. I spoke about it so badly in that video, and even for a good amount of time after the video, every time I go and revisit this at a Sephora or something, because of course I did end up returning it, but I would go and revisit it because people would not stop talking about this, and I'm like, why do I not like this? Like, I just couldn't let it go because it seems like everything I would love, and yet I just wasn't liking it. But then one day, somehow, miraculously, I don't know, my nose shifted, my taste shifted, I don't know. I revisited this perfume after a good while of not liking it, and let's just say I fell in love. I don't know how that happens with perfumes. It's super strange that you can go from hating a perfume to absolutely loving it. And the opposite has also happened to me, where I've loved a perfume and then I start hating it. I personally think that a huge factor as to why I love this now has to do with the aging process of this perfume. Even when I bought this for the very first time without letting it sit or macerate or nothing, the first time around that I had bought this, the juice was a lot lighter in color, and I remember vividly it was almost clear, and you can tell now this is like this deep, rich burgundy color. And I actually bought this perfume this way, so it's not like this has gotten better through me just having it sit in my collection. So I don't know if they changed the formula of this after some time. Maybe I got a bad one. I have no idea what went on in this perfume, but now I love it. Something about the fact that it has aged, that brown sugar note that is in here has deepened, and it has just become so rich. It no longer smells like a church to me, and it no longer smells overly mature or anything like that. I love everything about this now, and I'm still not sure how or why, but I'm not even questioning it anymore. I get so many compliments on this perfume. My husband loves this perfume. Every time I go on vacation, I bring this perfume, and this has become like a designated layering scent for me. I layer this to just about anything. And funnily enough, even though it's called Vanilla 28, this has 0 vanilla notes in it, which is super weird. This is a very, very woody vanilla, and I love woody scents. Give me a woody scent any day. But when in combination with vanilla, it's so intoxicating, and that is the best word that I can use to describe Vanilla 28. Another huge compliment getter. When I tell you, I get compliments with this everywhere. I wear this a lot on date nights because it just gives me this sultry, seductive feel, and that's how I want to feel when I'm going on a date with my husband. And so one of my go-to date night fragrances is Eilish by Billie Eilish. This bottle is a work of art. It's such a stunning packaging. I'm obsessed with it. This is some of the best vanilla that I have ever smelled. Every time I smell this, I'm just amazed. This is so rich, and it has a lot of spicy notes, but I actually don't find this even that spicy for a perfume that literally has spicy notes. I think this is the creamiest, smoothest blend of vanilla, and it also has cacao. Something that I found is that any perfume that has vanilla and cacao or some type of chocolate note in it, That mixture is so, so good. Something about that makes the vanilla so much richer. It deepens it, and it even smooths it out. This is such an attractive perfume. My husband goes crazy for this stuff. Even when I wear it out to restaurants, all the waiters and all the people around us will compliment me on this perfume. It's crazy. I know sometimes people are like, girl, how do you get so many compliments? I feel like I never get compliments on my perfume. I don't know. I guess it's just overspray perfume. I don't know. I wear a good amount of it and I'm always projecting it. Not enough to be annoying. I've never gotten a negative comment from anybody saying, oh, you smell too strong or anything like that. I mean, maybe somebody has thought that, but nobody's ever told me. I've always just gotten compliments, and with this one, it's compliments galore. I'm telling you, this is some of the best vanilla you'll ever smell. Now we're getting into spicy vanilla territory, and for that, the queen of the best, spiciest vanilla is Burberry Goddess. And not only is she spicy literally, because it has a lot of spicy notes, but this is a spicy one for sure, if you know what I mean. This one does something to people. When I wear this around my husband, he cannot keep his hands off of me. I will never understand how people could ever call this a basic vanilla, because I've heard a couple people say that and I'm like, what do you mean? I have so many vanilla perfumes in my collection and I'm showing you 14 of them here. And none of these perfumes smell like this. I do not find this basic at all. This is one of my favorite vanillas ever. It smells like vanilla, but it's so spicy in the best way possible. This has a ginger note and it has cacao. So we have that note again. I'm telling you, if you see cacao and vanilla, you just know it's gonna be good. But not only does this have one vanilla note, it has 3 vanilla notes. So in here you get vanilla, vanilla caviar, and vanilla absolute. You also get a little bit of lavender, which I think adds another level of floral in the best way possible. It works with the spicy notes super, super well to kind of take a little bit away from the vanilla in a really good way, because if it was just vanilla, it would be super basic. It's those spicy notes in mixture with the lavender in here that play up so well and so unique with the vanilla that makes this perfume, in my opinion, super unique. Like I said, I've tried so many perfumes, so many vanilla perfumes, and nothing smells quite like this one. It is truly a top-notch vanilla. You'll feel like a goddess when you wear Goddess. This entire video couldn't be made without the mother of all vanillas. We have Vanilla Skin. This perfume inspired this video because if you watched my entire dedicated review that I just recently did to this, I told you in that video that I was thinking about doing this video, like my top favorite vanillas, and that's how this video kind of came to be. Phlur's Vanilla Skin is if you took the Bare Vanilla Body Mist from Victoria's Secret and you deepened it, you strengthened it, and you made it even more intoxicating. All the elements of that cashmere vibe, the woody vibe that is in Bare Vanilla times a million. That is Vanilla Skin. That's kind of the best way I can put it. And if you haven't ever smelled Bare Vanilla, so that description means nothing to you, then the best way I can explain this is truly like vanilla skin. After you spray this on, throughout the entire day, you're gonna be getting this waft all day of almost like this baked goods, borderline gourmand vanilla that is so creamy and almost like dried vanilla ice cream all over your body, which sounds like a sticky, disgusting, gross mess. It's like that without the sticky, disgusting, gross mess. Just imagine you have dried up vanilla ice cream all over your body, which sounds kind of bad, but like, you know, perfume version, that's what this is. This is the last perfume in this video that's gonna be around the $100 mark. Everything after this point is gonna be under 100. Black Opium Le Parfum is another intoxicating vanilla. This vanilla is definitely in the same family as Vanilla 28, with it being super woody. So good. It has a little bit of the elements of the original Black Opium, all those sexy vibes that are in the original Black Opium that just make that perfume so seductive. I was trying to find another word for sexy. This perfume is the champion of having the most vanilla notes in it, because this has not only 1, not only 2, not only 3, but 4 different kinds of vanilla notes in it. So she's the queen of the most vanilla happening in a perfume. So you get Madagascar vanilla, bourbon vanilla, vanilla absolute, and vanilla orchid. Now, like I said, it has a little bit of the elements of the original Black Opium, like that sexy coffee vibe, but the coffee in here is not as pronounced as it is in the original black opium. It's a lot softer and it's almost like cappuccino vibes, not so much coffee, which makes this really creamy. This is another one of my go-tos for date night perfumes. I'm pretty sure I've done a video on like the sexiest perfumes ever. I'll have it linked up here if you want to check that out, if you're looking for like date night, first date type scents that will really lure them in, because there's a lot of perfumes you could do that with, and this is one of them. Let's get into the affordable vanillas, but nonetheless, these are all equally as amazing as all these other ones. First up being MAC Creme de Nude. This fragrance is spicy vanilla. This is a very leathery vanilla. This has suede, and the suede note in here is very much here, and it's mixing with the vanilla in a way that it just kind of gives that vanilla an edge. This is definitely not going to be your basic boring vanilla ice cream perfume. Not that that's a bad thing, because I love me a boring vanilla ice cream perfume, but this is gonna give you something rich and complex without having to pay the price for it. You also get caramel in here, so it has that sugary, sweet, sticky caramel smell as well. But just be aware of the fact that the suede note is pretty strong in here, so you would have to like sort of a darker kind of vibe vanilla. I think this is super sexy. The edge that suede gives out vanilla makes this stand out so much to any of these other vanillas that I showed you in here, so it's definitely super unique to my collection, even though I have so many. And with how high-end and incredible that this smells, you cannot beat the price. This is for those of you that want a true gourmand vanilla, cakey, doughy, buttery, sugary, and just edible. You just want to smell like a snack. That perfume is gonna be Lattafa's Eclair. I'm obsessed with this perfume. This perfume has made me be okay with not buying Bianco Latte. People in my comments are like, girl, you need to get Bianco Latte. I get that to this day. I get that every single time I mention a dupe of Bianco Latte, because everyone is like, no, none of the dupes are as good. And hey guys, one day maybe I will get Bianco Latte. I'm just not that desperate yet. And Bianco Latte is a pretty penny that I kind of don't really want to spend now, especially having this. So many people say that this is almost 100% similar to Bianco Latte, and I love this perfume. This is the mother of all sugary notes all in one perfume. And here you get caramel, you get milk, you get sugar, and that's all just in the top notes. You get honey, vanilla, praline. It also has a couple random notes like white flowers and musks, which neither I smell in here. I'm just getting all the sweet stuff, which is what I want to get. Definitely smell the caramel. It's super lactonic and creamy. The creamiest scent ever. It smells like whipped cream, basically, perfumified, and just a whole lot of sugar. This is a perfume that will give you a cavity. That's how sweet it is. This just smells heavenly. I think I've mentioned this comparison before of this perfume, but this smells like when you walk through Disneyland and you pass the little pastry shops. It's been so long that I've gone to Disneyland. I think literally the last time I went to Disneyland was on my 10th birthday, and I'm 25, so it's been 15 years. So I don't know how I still vividly smell this scent in my head, but you know the scent of Disney World. Like that sweet scent that just lingers in the air. It makes you almost nostalgic. There has to be some sort of science or chemicals in that scent that makes you just like relive your childhood. But this is like that scent. It's like walking into a Ghirardelli store and it's like that warmth, sugary pastry, but it's like that basically in a perfume. So this is definitely, I think, the sweetest and the most gourmand vanilla you're gonna get in this video. I talk about this perfume a lot on my channel, and that is for good reason, because Laura Mercier Eau Gourmand Ombre Vanille is so good. This is very similar smelling to Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 62, which I also mentioned a ton on my channel, but this one is more vanilla. And even though Cheirosa 62 is also very sweet and vanilla, I didn't include it in here because there's a little bit more going on than vanilla, and this video was kind of dedicated to vanilla, but on a similar vibe that gives you more of a true vanilla is this. This has almond and coconut, and this is another vanilla perfume that's called Ombre Vanille, and it literally has vanilla in the name, but it doesn't have a vanilla note in it. I'm not really sure what is up with these perfumes that actually have vanilla in their name, but they don't have vanilla note. I guess the notes in here kind of just are supposed to emulate a vanilla note, and this definitely does, because although I'm not seeing any vanilla in the notes, it smells like vanilla. heavily. Otherwise, it would not be in this video. And here you get orchid, you get coconut, which is so random. I don't find this that coconutty. If anything, I find it creamy and just like a very creamy vanilla with a hint of coconut. And it also has almond and sandalwood, so it's pretty woody. It's honestly a very complex, equally florally and sugary type of nutty vanilla. And I picked this up at TJ Maxx, and for a long time I thought this was just discontinued, and I've actually been seeing it lately into TJ Maxx. So you may want to hit up your TJ Maxx stores and you might be able to find this exact one, because I know that they have a new version of it now that is still, I think, called Ombre Vanille, but it's in a different packaging. And I don't know if that formula is changed. It probably is, because they tend to do that. That probably smells great. I've never smelled it, but they have this one at TJ Maxx right now. I've seen it in stores literally within the past 2 weeks. So if you have a TJ Maxx near you, check it out and you might be able to get your hands on this. I think it's like 30 bucks. And then the last 3 vanillas, these are all under $25. Let's start with the $25 mark first. This is Creme Vanille by Le Monde Gourmand. Le Monde Gourmand makes a lot of really amazing sweet fragrances and also a lot of just like unique perfumes. They literally have one that smells exactly like Coca-Cola. Creme Vanille honestly reminds me a lot of this that I just talked about, Ombre Vanille. It's very similar, but it's a lot softer. The only downside of these Le Monde Gourmand perfumes is the fact that they are very much on the softer side, which could be a bonus for some of you that don't like super strong scents. If you get headaches to scents really easily, but you still like vanilla, then this is like your perfect scent because it's not too strong. It doesn't project like crazy. Unfortunately, it also doesn't last a whole lot. And this is yet again, I don't know what it is up with these perfumes that are called vanilla without having vanilla note, but yet again, it does not have a vanilla note. It has brown sugar, which happens a lot. It happened with Vanilla 28. Doesn't have vanilla, but it has brown sugar. It gives the same vibe. It's like same thing. It still smells like vanilla. And along with the brown sugar, you get a lot of amberiness to this. So it's very smooth and creamy and borderline slightly powdery. And you also get apricot and jasmine, which, do I smell those too? No. It's just a smooth, creamy vanilla. It's not a super complex scent, but I really love it. Just as a throw-on scent, it mixes really well because it's not too strong, so it mixes with just about anything. This is a classic that I pretty much always have in my collection. I've decluttered so many perfumes, as you guys know, since the beginning of my channel, since I started this whole perfume reviewing thing. I have decluttered a lot of perfumes, but this one I never declutter. And I've had this perfume pretty much since the very start of my channel and even way before that. This is a perfume I always had because I love this. This is by Pacifica and it's called Island Vanilla. The only downside of this perfume is the fact that because it's more of a clean formula, which is not a bad thing, it's actually a great thing, but because of that, the longevity of this perfume, not in terms of wear time, but in terms of how long it stays smelling good, is not very long. This one doesn't have the same preservatives, chemicals, or whatever that are in your typical perfumes, which are definitely very bad for you, and I know that. And because of that, it tends to kind of turn after like 3 or 4 months into having it in your collection. So I do like the fact that this only comes in a 1 fluid ounce and it's such a small bottle, because it's definitely meant to be like your daily wear perfume. You finish it up after 3 months and get a new bottle and it's like 20 bucks. It's so inexpensive, but this is your true vanilla ice cream vanilla. It smells so good, and to this day, owning this many vanillas, some that are super complex, more expensive, I still will never get rid of Pacifica's Island Vanilla. This has vanilla, honey, some fruity notes. It has a couple floral notes in there, which, you know, I'm not even mentioning in this video because I don't really get a lot of florals in any of these perfumes. I mean, some of them have a little bit more, but this one quite literally smells like walking into a frozen yogurt type store and you just get a big thing of vanilla frozen yogurt. That's what it smells like. It's freaking delicious. And the last perfume on this list, and cheapest of all, but yet smells honestly very close to kind of a mix between Van Cleef's Orchidee Vanille and MAC Creme de Nude Vanilla Potion. I don't know what brand this is. I have no idea. I picked this up at TJ Maxx. I've seen this a lot at TJ Maxx lately, so I know they've restocked this. This kind of went viral on TikTok, and I know so many people own this now, but it's literally like 16 bucks. It used to be a lot cheaper than that, but because people started loving it, they raised the price. as they do. But to me, this is definitely like the love child of these two scents. It has that floral vanilla kind of scent, and I'm kind of getting an Orchidee vanille and slightly powdery. But then it also has this, I don't want to say suede note because it doesn't have suede, but there's some type of edge to that vanilla in here. It's not as pronounced as it is in Creme de Nude. This is definitely a lot stronger and more leathery, more suedey, but it has a little bit of that in here. I think maybe because it has driftwood, that's kind of the only thing I could say would give off that vibe in here. I'm not really sure really what's doing that, but nonetheless, this smells like such a complex vanilla coming in at 16 bucks. You cannot beat this. It actually lasts, which is also crazy for this price point. It projects really well. It's really good. If you don't want to fuss with any of those other way more expensive perfumes, just go out and buy this and you will not regret it. And that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I feel like I've been talking forever because I have. Let me know in the comments your favorite vanilla of all time, and stay tuned for the body mist version of this video because that is coming up right after this video. That is it for me today. Please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and turn your post notifications on, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.